Good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day you're watching this video. I am going to be driving through the city of Pensacola, Florida, which is located on the far northwest part of Florida in the Panhandle. Now, the population of this city is 53,142 people. It has been losing people at a rate of 0.4% as of the 2020 census, and that would be depending on what set of data that you look at. Now, if you look at Wikipedia's set of data for that type of information, Wikipedia's got Pensacola being 54,312 people at a gain of 4.6% as of the 2020 census. Now, me personally, I'm more likely to go with the information provided by Wikipedia, and that's based off of what I've seen when I was in Pensacola recording this video. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you don't care about the information and you just want to get directly to the actual city of Pensacola, then fast forward this video to around the 5-minute mark. And secondly, I want to apologize for all the glare in this video, but the day I went to record this video, there's an awful lot of sunlight and there was not much I can do to get rid of the glare. Now, if there's some type of device out there that I can use to make better videos in sunny days like this particular day, leave a comment below, because that will help me out. It'll help my channel, and it will also make the viewing experience for you people a little better. So I apologize for the glare in the video. Now, I'm gonna just keep on giving you guys some more information, then I'll get into my 2 cents about the city. Now, the median home price here is $184,000, but honestly, if you want to purchase anything that I would consider decent neighborhood, decent home, I would be prepared to spend at least $205,000. Now, if you're just looking to rent, the median rent prices are going to go from $828 to $1,634 a month. So rent prices, at least in my humble opinion, are a bit steep, but those seem to be the average rate for rents in many of your cities nowadays. Now, as far as it goes for the crime in the city is not bad at all. I mean, violent crime is a little over 1.5 times the national average, which really that's not bad at all. And property crime is 1.7 times the national average, which, as I've told you on previous videos, typically in many of your cities, whether they be smaller or larger, your property crime typically is going to run anywhere from 1.5 times to 2.5 times the national average. Now, as far as where they get national average for crime, I mean, I'm going to assume that when they do the national average, they take all the numbers from the larger cities, and they take all the numbers from smaller cities and rural communities and countryside communities, which, let's be honest, there's going to be way more small towns and countryside communities and super small cities than there's going to be metro areas. So just understand that anytime you want to live somewhere in any kind of a city, regardless of the size of the city, the crime numbers are going to typically be higher in comparison to a smaller town or a countryside community. Typically, that's how that works. FYI for those of you that didn't know how statistical information worked. So the crime numbers here in Pensacola are not bad at all. And I would say, taking into consideration that this is a oceanfront city, housing prices here are not too bad. Now I know for some people, $200,000 for a house appears to be a lot of money. And that would largely depend on where you're coming from. Now obviously, if you're like me, you're from Indiana, you're from the cornfields of the Midwest, to come down here and drop $200,000 for a house might appear to be a lot of money. But if you're coming from the ocean fronts of California, or you're coming somewhere from the Northeast, where housing prices typically run more expensive than they do in many other parts of the country, you'll come down here and you'll be like, $205,000, man, it ain't nothing. That's why I spend every week or so on groceries. And that'll be assuming that you're living by yourself, of course. But anyways, so I guess when it comes to the housing prices, whether you think the prices are low or high, it's, you know, it's largely based on your personal perspective. Now, me personally, $200,000 would be a bit steep for me for housing. However, I do recognize where I'm at as I record this video, and I also recognize that there's a lot of people that are moving here to the state of Florida for nice weather, to be close to the beaches, and a few other reasons. Entertainment. So taking all that into consideration, I don't think $200,000 is super high when it comes to housing. And for $200,000, for $205,000, in my humble opinion, you can actually buy you something fairly decent in this city. Now, it's not going to be anything special or fancy. No, you're not going to get no mansion. You're going to get a regular size house. I mean, you know, you'll get a regular size house, maybe 1,000 to 1,500 square feet. And I would say your lot size will be up to 1/4 of an acre. So bear in mind, for $205,000, you're not going to get nothing super special. However, this is Pensacola. You're by the ocean, so bear that in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my 2 cents about this city. Now, me personally, if I, you know, if I had the money to buy a house in this city, in a decent community, and B, if I didn't have to, and B, if homeowners insurance here was a little cheaper, because homeowners insurance here is going to be a little more expensive, because for one, you got, you know, you got to deal with the hurricanes. You got hurricane season, and given the fact that you're right by the ocean, obviously you're gonna, if you're taking out a mortgage, you're gonna, the mortgage company is gonna require you to have homeowners insurance. Even if you're not taking out a mortgage, it would behoove you to have homeowners insurance as well as flood insurance. That way, if the hurricane comes through, you got that extra protection to keep yourself from losing all your money. But honestly, in my opinion, this is a nice city. It's not, I mean, I mean, it's got plenty to do. It has plenty of decent amenities. And just off the top of my head, if you need to go to a slightly bigger city for extra amenities, Tallahassee is about, I want to say, an hour and 10 minutes from here. So Tallahassee is only a little over an hour from here if you need to go to a slightly larger city for some reason. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if I had deeper pockets, I would definitely give this city a more serious look in terms of moving to this city. Now, I will also say this city does have its fair share of poverty, which you'll see either on this video. I got another video coming up to where I don't do no talking, I just record. So I can't remember which video it's going to be on, but either this video or my next video that I have of Pensacola, Florida, you will see that yes, this city does have its fair share of poor communities. And yes, there are people here that are homeless. Yes, there is poverty here. What percentage that I don't know, but I just know it exists. So it's fair to say that this, like many other cities, it's fair to say that this city is not going to be all fun in the sun for everybody. But I would say, if you work a remote job that pays you at least, I would say $50,000 a year, preferably if you want to live here and actually enjoy your life, I would say if you make at least, we'll just say $70,000 a year, you can come down here and rent or buy you a home, and you can enjoy everything that this city has to offer. You got the ocean, you got all your beaches, you got a ton of other things to do, which I will be discussing later in this video. But yeah, I mean, I just think all in all, this is a nice little city to call home. If you're looking for a place to live to where traffic isn't super crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, this city does have a considerable amount of traffic. The only reason why you don't see as much traffic on this video is because I am recording this video on a Sunday. But if I would have came here and been recording this video during the week, you would have saw a lot more traffic. So there is a considerable amount of traffic in this city. However, when you compare the traffic in this city compared to, let's say, I don't know, let's say somewhere in mid or southern Florida, the traffic here is light compared to those other parts of Florida. And of course, your cost of living here is going to be a little cheaper too. So let's get on with some information here. Now that I gave you my 2 cents about the city. Now this city has 2 nicknames. One nickname is the City of 5 Flags. And the reason why this city has a nickname of the City of 5 Flags is because there has been 5 different countries that have ruled this city basically. The 5 countries that have, the 5 governments that have ruled this city was, you got Spain, and then after Spain was France, after France was Great Britain, then the United States, and then during the, during the Civil War era, you had the Confederacy of America that ruled this city, since the city was located, of course, in the southern part of the United States. And the second nickname for this city is the world's whitest beaches. And that is due to the white sand of the Florida Panhandle beaches. Now, if you're wanting to move here, you don't have a job, you don't work at home, you don't work remotely, you come here and maybe you're thinking, okay, well, what's the job market in this city like? Okay, well, some of the largest employers here will be the Navy Federal Credit Union, the Baptist Healthcare Center. I mean, there's a few other healthcare centers in this city, so I'm not going to list all of them. But if you work in healthcare, just understand, if you move here and you work as I would say, if you're at least a LPN nurse, you can, well, let's scratch that. I would say if you move here and you work at least as an RN nurse, I would say you can move here and make a fairly decent living for yourself here, and you can enjoy a decent quality of life here. So there appears to be plenty of healthcare opportunities here. And then another big employer is Florida Power and Light. I mean, those are some of the biggest employers of the city. And as far as things to do in this city, again, there's a lot to do. I'm not naming off every little thing that there is to do. I'm just going to name off a few things that you can do just to give you guys an idea. So as far as it goes for entertainment, you got the Pensacola Lighthouse, and you got the Pensacola Lighthouse Museum. You got the Uncle Sandy's Macau Bird Park. You got Grizzly Axes, which is basically a place where you can go and do some axe throwing. So maybe if you're pissed off at your wife because your wife spent too much money at the store, or you're mad at your kids because they misbehave at the beach, you fellas can go and relieve some of that frustration that you have within. Or you can just go there and just get some good exercise, whatever the case. Then you got the historic Pensacola Village, which I did not get to drive through that village, but basically it is a village that is 3 blocks long, which is full of historic buildings and homes in the city of Pensacola. And these buildings apparently are packed with historic items, like you probably got the old school tables and silverware, the old school cooking. You got the super old ovens and stoves and washing machines where you actually have to put your hand in the water and wash your clothes by hand. I'm assuming that's the type of stuff you're going to find in many of these buildings and historic homes. And then, and of course, this city does have a fair amount of beaches, such as the Santa Rosa Island. You got Johnson Beach, you got Gulf Island, and you got some other you got other beaches in this city too. And from March to October, you can book a ride on the Pensacola Bay City Ferry. And the ferry apparently seats 60 people. So if you want to take a ride on the ocean and get a closer view of the ocean, you can book a ride on that ferry. I do not know how much it's going to cost. Honestly, when March or April comes around, I'm probably going to go ahead and go back down there and and book a seat for myself and just see how it's like, and do some recording and let you guys know how it's like for those of you that have never been on a ferry before. So that's all the talking I'm going to do. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of this video. And as always, if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up to help with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, consider doing that, because I will be cranking out some exciting videos on this channel. And I do got more Florida videos to do, along with other kind of videos. So stay tuned for those videos. So everyone have a blessed one, and I will see you guys on the next one.